Thank you for listening. A list of content warnings can be found in the episode description. Take care. Enjoy the show. Planescape Torment, the Unofficial audio series. A narrative let's play adapted and produced by RevocerGM. Combining in-game audio with additional voice acting through dialogue and descriptions to improve your listening experience. Rediscover the amazing story of the 1999 cult classic isometric video game, Planescape Torment, like you've never heard before. Day 7. Hour 5 after peak, I think. Even for Sigil, it's hard to tell the time down here. I finally found Pharod in the buried village beneath Ragpicker's Square. Unfortunately, he didn't seem all that pleased to see me. He does claim to know something of my past, so I've agreed to descend into the catacombs and bring him back an artifact. A bronze sphere. He thinks the sphere is located in the deepest part of the catacombs, where the water drowns the passageways. He said that my past self wanted to get back into the mortuary. Why? Was I looking for something there? Every warning I was given about Pharod holds truth. But right now, I don't have any other options. You ascend the winding staircase, closely flanked by Pharod's heavily armed goons. Awaiting you at the top are Mort and Dakon, who have been left seemingly unperturbed, and Bish, who greets you with a hearty bellow.
I didn't think anything had put Pharod in a worse mood. After the racket we heard, I was worried the whole Pickers Square would cave in on us.
Old friends, he and I. We had some catching up to do.
Aye. Well, you're one of us now.
I wouldn't go that far.
No. Anyone willing to head down to Tombs earns my respect. Doubly so if they return.
Well, let's hope I return.
You'll want to go speak to Quint before you head under. Stock up on supplies.
He slaps his palm onto your back and leads you out the chamber. On your way, you notice an anxious-looking man leaning against the wall in the corner. He raises his head as you pass, and a look of fear and fury crosses his face. Immediately, you recognize the collector who'd attacked you in the trash warrens, just as he lunges at you. Bish's soldiers grab the man, holding him back.
Hey, easy, Thrasher. What's going on?
It's him! This is the one. Put my boys in the dead book, and the balmy would have killed me too if I hadn't fled.
Killed you? You attacked me.
No. You're misremembering. Swung at me with his axe, he did, look!
He holds up his mangled left hand, wrapped in a blood-soaked bandage.
Before we could do anything, some devilry took him over. The shadows themselves, they came alive around him. They did. I didn't stay to look. I ran. What else was I to do?
You'll do nothing is what? Pharod's got him doing a job, and we're to leave him be. Understood?
But he's a murderer!
I don't care what he is. Whatever's been done will be settled when he returns. If he returns. But drop it.
The man shakes off the guards and relaxes his stance, staring you dead in the eye.
Oh, you look smug now. But if the dead don't get you, Cutter, I will.
Quint's shop is a narrow, crotchety storehouse with a single slanted bench displaying an array of tools used in the delicate process of tomb cracking. Inside, it smells like a combination of wet fur and rotten leather. The proprietor himself, similarly odorous, is penned behind an iron grate set in front of the counter, separating him and the till from any would-be attackers. He is a short man, his head barely clearing the bench top. His teeth are rotten, and he wheezes as he looks you up and down.
I'm Quint. You knew?
Who wants to know?
Me, eh? So, you knew?
Yes. He looks at you with suspicion.
You selling or trading, eh?
Yes. His eyes narrow even further.
Dealing, eh? With me? With everybody but Quitch, eh?
With you?
Just me? Me, eh?
Yes, just with you.
Oh, that's so, eh? Oh, well, let's deal then, eh?
Anything you're interested in.
Or anything interesting, eh?
He smiles.
You were looking for something?
A journal, perhaps.
A journal, eh? Gold leaf, maybe?
I don't know.
Oh, no, me.
What do you usually trade for?
Tools, weapons, stitch thread, teeth, parts here and there from the dearly departed, eh? And lots of corpse fishing to be done in the catacombs below, if you know about it. Virgin territory. Folks pay more than you'd think when they're desperate, eh? Them living here, they go down there, those collectors, get some stuff, get some buddies, bring 'em back to Marta, the balmy seamstress, one to steer clear of. She picks 'em clean, passes it all on to Pharod, show him, he takes his cut, then he deals with me. Folk bring all sorts back. A few pieces from the deaders, urns, some jink, some little knickknacks. That's my deal, buck.
What if I dealt with you directly?
Oh, no. I couldn't have no part of that, eh?
He demonstratively strokes his chin.
Well, it may be that old Quint's a little tired of getting Pharod's leavings and dealing in corpse bits when I could have a few urns and deaded treasures direct, eh? If you were to tell me it came from Pharod, though, I couldn't know no better, could I, eh? I'd just presume that it was all above the board, eh?
I see. What can you tell me about Pharod?
Oh, well, start a crutch, eh? Well, he set up this place. He loaded the lane. He set me up too, eh? Say, if we're to have a more advantageous arrangement, perhaps you'd be interested in a job for me.
What sort of job?
Rhys, eh? Rhys, the vulture, we call him. He left his past few peaks with a band of collectors. Nobody's seen or heard of them since. Catacombs probably got them. Lots of things in the dark places down there, eh? Well, not fortunate that Gris be in the dead book, nor the others, of course. Good collector, Gris, eh? Black heart, but got a nose sharp for the crypts. He's also got something in mind. Find him and get it back, and you get something on the side, eh? Give you junk and a deal on junk, eh?
Sure, I'll keep an eye out.
Well, it's a necklace, a hollow teeth. Charming thing. Probably find it wherever Gris is. And let me know, eh?
I will. Now, let me see your wares.
Well, that's what I like to hear.
Outside of Quint's storehouse, you find one of the villagers you'd met by the fire, sat waiting in the dirt. She quickly stands when she sees you, but doesn't hold eye contact, glancing only briefly at your face. You notice her eyes travel along your many scars, and her worried look deepens. Are you all right?
So you saw Pharod then, did you?
I did.
Are you one of his boys now?
No.
Then why'd you go to him?
He may have something of mine.
Yeah, no doubt. He has something of mine too.
I get the impression you don't care for Pharod much. She remains silent for a moment, then sighs.
No, I don't.
Care to tell me why?
He's got himself set up as some sort of baron here. Everyone does what he says, everyone pays him tribute. And if you don't...
She shrugs. Tribute? From what? She looks about nervously and then leans in close to whisper to you.
Everything. No shared copper here goes unnoticed. You find any small thing, an old trinket, a lost purse, his boys come and claim it. Barely leaves us enough to keep fed.
Go on.
Pharod gets rich, we just get by. Barely. It's the same story no matter where you go. The rich get richer and the poor get skewered on some other poor Burke shiv, I suppose.
Who are you? What's your name?
I told you it don't matter. Cheryl. My name is Cheryl.
Cheryl? Why are you down here, Cheryl?
Mida. I followed him down. We didn't have anywhere up in the hive to stay. Streets are too dangerous. Well, at least when I was younger. He thought he'd make some jink down here, save enough for us to go back up.
I see. Well, what's it like down here? Anything you can tell me?
Not really. Just watch your step. Be careful who you call friend. That's all.
She habitually glances over her shoulder. Your da, is he still around? She returns her gaze to the floor. Is something wrong? Do you know where he is? As she looks up, you see her face is set like stone.
My father, Arkin. He's missing and I don't know what to do. I'm at my wit's end.
I'm sorry. Tell me what happened. Maybe I can help.
My father, he's been getting more desperate lately, pushing himself, taking more risks. He volunteered to go down into the tombs with Gris and the lot. I told him he shouldn't. He wouldn't listen. On one of his excursions there, he said he found some record or something that spoke of crypts that could only be entered through portals.
Go on.
My father thought that those crypts must be for special people. The rich or nobles or who knows? Why else would you make them so hard to get to? I told him he was barmy, that they'd likely be trapped. That just made him mad. In any case, I haven't seen him since his last trip.
How long's he been gone?
Well, it's been a few days, but that's usual. But before he went down last, I saw he'd been to Althera, the fortune teller. I think he's tried to do something really stupid, if I'm honest.
Have you spoken to this Althera?
No. She gives me the creeps, like she can feel what I feel, you know? I don't like that.
Well, maybe I could speak to her. See if she knows anything. Cheryl visibly relaxes and smiles at you.
Thank you.
No problem. Where might I find this fortune teller?
She has a hut that she wheels about as she pleases. No permanent spot. People tend to give her a wide berth. Unless they want to know something.
I see. Leave it to me. I'll see what I can find. The atmosphere of the buried village feels very unlike that of the hive. By no stretch do the people seem more cheerful. In some cases, their situation appears to be far worse. But there's a sense of stillness that you have not seen on the bustling streets above. The communal fires draw people into the center, where they sit, snap at each other occasionally, then pass the liquor jug between them. It is hostile, yet it feels connected in a way that you cannot comprehend. Circling around one of these campfires is a lone woman, separated from the rest, bundled in layers of worn yet colorful clothing. She pulls behind her a small covered cart, gently chuckling to herself as she kicks stones and debris out of her path. When she notices your approach, she gives you a broad smile.
Come to see Althera, have you? What can she do for you?
Greetings.
Greetings to you. Rarely does one such as you come to visit Althera. What is it that you need?
Who are you?
Did you not hear me? Have scars grown over your ears and made you deaf?
She cocks her head to one side and begins to examine your ears.
No matter. Althera. Althera is who I am. Althera the Witch, some call me.
Are you a witch?
Of course not. Folk don't understand Althera. Think she's crazy, strange. That's all.
I've heard someone call you a fortune teller. Is that what you do?
What Althera does is what she does. People can call me what they like.
She smiles, and her ageless face creases far more than you'd expect.
She divines things. Folk come to her and ask her questions. She finds the secrets, lost to their minds. Not sure about fortune, but teller is as good a word as any.
I've lost my name. Could you help me find that? She frowns at you for a moment, and then holds out a withered hand.
Your hand, come. Give it to Althera.
She lays a palm on top of yours, then lightly traces the leathery cracks of your skin. Her hand is warm to the touch, and while heavily calloused, there's a comfort and a gentleness to it. Your arm begins to tingle slightly as her warmth spreads throughout your body. You feel light. It's almost as if the blood in your veins can flow more freely. A pulse surges through you as a grimace starts to form in her face. That flow becomes a pull, a tidal drag, drawing the sensation deeper into your bones, filling the chasms within you, quenching some desperate thirst. You hear a gasp as she snatches from your hold, purple welts staining the edges of her hand where your fingers had gripped into her skin. You hadn't realized you'd been holding her so tight.
What happened?
She takes a moment to recompose herself.
A strange one you are.
She shakes her head.
Althira doesn't know. Your name is not lost, but given up freely, or held by another. A great gulf Althira sees in you. Nameless you are, and nameless you will remain. A choice you made. Althira cannot help you. You are beyond her simple means.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
Althira understands less than you do. Forgive. She cannot help you.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt.
No, not to worry yourself about me. You've enough problems.
If I may, I came to ask you about a collector, Arkin, father to Cheryl, here in the village.
Ugh, that fool. What do you want to know about Arkin?
Cheryl says he's missing. She's worried about him. She nods her head, slowly.
Missing he may be. I warned him. Ugh, foolish man. No manners at all. Came to Althira and asked her to divine what fate had in store for him. Desperate he was. Find his fate Althira did. If it was riches he sought, then it was riches he'd find. Buried with riches he would be, but buried nonetheless. He scorned me for that.
Is he still alive?
And why would I know that? I warned him. I told him the dangers of following this path. He rushed off in a huff, without so much as a thanks.
I'm gonna go see if I can find him. Can you help me?
Where would we even begin?
His daughter, Cheryl, says he mentioned something about a tomb, accessible only by a portal. He may have found a way in.
Give me a moment.
Althira begins to rummage in the back of her cart and eventually finds a bundle of colorful bolts of cloth. She selects a deep purple shawl, sets it upon the ground, then places a polished tortoise shell in the center. She then proceeds to scatter a collection of carved wooden figures and worn knuckle bones within the shell, and waits. What do you see?
Shh! I'm looking.
After a long-held breath, she finally releases a deep sigh.
A tomb there is, gated by one of the ladies' doors. I cannot see his fate, though.
What does that mean?
Usually, not a good thing.
And what of the key? How do I find this tomb? She taps her chin with a calloused finger.
Sympathetic it would be.
She closes her eyes and furrows her brow, thinking for a moment.
A human leg bone.
What?
A human leg bone is the key. You'll find the entrance in the upper catacombs. Grand the passage will seem, but to a dead end it will lead. The bone is the key.
A human leg bone. I have an idea. Thank you, Althira. Farewell.
Farewell.
You head back to Marta, the seamstress's hut. Amongst all the dead there, you know there must be at least one spare femur kicking around. The smell of old blood nearly overwhelms you as you enter, and you see Marta stooped over a table, with her hands covered by one of the corpses. A look of intense concentration is on her face. Excuse me, ma'am?
Eh? Oh, it's him again, Marta. Oh, what's he want this time?
You pull Stitchies out of corpses. Can I buy something from you? She seems confused.
Buy? Jink. Ain't you here to pick some up? That's what you're here for, ain't you? To pick up the thread, the bones, the rattling teethies.
She nods to a table behind you, covered in spools of thread and other strange objects. You think you saw a skeletal hand among them.
No, I'm not here to pick them up, but I'll buy from you.
She stares at the coins in your own hand, as if not sure what to make of them.
Shiny, shine. Oh, what's they want again, Marta? Marta, what did they want?
I was wondering if I could take a leg bone, a human one, if you have any to spare.
Oh, aye, help yourself. I just pulls the Stitchies and Teethies.
You look around and see gruesome tubs of assorted limbs and leftover body parts collected from the tombs.
Thanks. What are you doing now?
Oh, I'm trying to get this Bert to give up his Stitchies and his Teethies, and he isn't re-cooperating. No.
She wags a crimson-soaked finger as if lecturing a small child.
Stubborn as stone, isn't he, Marta?
She then pouts.
Yes, he is. Who got to pull the Stitchies out? The Teethies? Hey, Marta, perhaps you could give me a hand? I have been giving you a hand, you old batty, and no needs to take that tone with me. Oh, pulling out the Stitchies and Teethies, yes, and the thingies inside.
Thingies inside? I think she means organs. I hope she means organs.
Thingies?
Yes, thingies. You see, it's all semantics. You think you could dig in my body and find anything?
Marta squints at you.
Oh, Marta can do that, can't you, Marta? Yes, you can.
I am not gonna watch this.
Oh, but where? Where?
Marta begins studying you carefully, as if looking for the best place to crack you open.
Let's try the stomach, shall we?
The next few minutes are some of the most horrifying and yet most intriguing that you've experienced so far. You lie upon the table, and Marta stands over you, a rusty knife at the ready. You watch in morbid fascination as she slices, cuts, and saws into various parts of your body.
Oh, nothing found, Marta? No, nothing, Marta, no luck. Should we try again?
How about my rib cage?
The pain is unimaginable, and you repeatedly fall unconscious, only to be revived as she presents organs to you as if they were newborn babes. There is a wrenching pain as Marta lifts up the ropey mass of your intestines, blood and other fluids streaming from it.
Look at this, Marta, look at this. I see. Oh, cut there.
She then makes a small, deft incision in the side of one of the intestines, and you hear a ting as something small and metallic strikes the floor. Marta then dumps the soupy mass back into your abdomen, then reaches down, picks up the object, a ring it appears, and flicks it to you.
Oh, pretty, Marta. Yes, Marta. One shouldn't swallow such a thing. No.
Thanks. Was there anything else?
Oh, nothing more. More nothing, Marta? No, we picked you clean.
I do not know what drove you to do that, but if it's helped you in the knowing of yourself, then I will withhold any judgment. Yeah, that's it. All in the light of self-discovery.
Live and let live is what I usually say, but what I just saw really stretches what I think sane people should be doing. That was not expected.
Ratbone. Sorry, I didn't know you were there.
Oh, and if you did, you would have been more modest with your organs? Well, good to know. Do you have any information for me?
Yes. Pharod's supply of dead bodies is coming from the catacombs beneath Sigil. He makes a lot of jink selling corpses the dustmen have already buried right back to them.
Her eyes widen in surprise. She almost looks impressed.
There is a gate that leads down into the catacombs from here. I'm about to head in there myself.
I'm impressed. How'd you pull it out of him?
His pride. He couldn't bear that I thought it a cheap trick. Now that his secret's out, how much longer can it last?
Right you are. Here's your jink cutter, courtesy of Sharegrave. Enjoy it.
She hands you a hefty pouch of coins.
Thanks. You said you were a thief for hire.
Aye, and some.
I've seen a little of what you can do. Some of it might be useful where I'm going.
Could you teach me a few tricks of your own?
After what you've done, sure. Been trained before?
No, I don't think so.
That's fine. I'm gonna cuff you now, so dodge it.
Suddenly, with no further warning, she swings her open hand at your head, and you narrowly avoid Ratbone's blow.
Not bad, Cutter. Now, you knows if you want to be practicing the trade, you can't be clunking about, right? We don't bother ourselves with the heavy stuff and stick more to the precise tools.
She flourishes her gleaming fighting knife.
You all right with that, Cutter?
Yes, I am.
Let's get to it then. What I'm going to learn you here is a Cutter's 6 best bloods. Sneaking about, hiding, picking locks and pockets, finding and removing various traps, and my favourite, stabbing plucky Burks in the back.
Go on.
Sneaking about, hiding in the shadows, moving real quiet like is right handy. Better a live git than a dead Cutter, eh?
Okay.
All right, Cutter. First off, you gotta relax. You're too tense. You're gonna have to let your instinct take over at times and trust your hunches.
After some time running you through the basics, Ratbone nods at you in satisfaction.
I must say, Cutter, never have I runs across a faster learner. I'd say you were pulling the blinds over me and you've done this all before.
As Ratbone speaks, you come to realize that you have done this before. Faded memories of lurking in darkened hallways and avoiding deadly traps drift into focus. Thanks, again. What will you do now?
I'll stick around for a while, see if I can learn the ins and outs of this place. I'll see you around, Cutter. Stay safe.
I'm not sure about that.
Thank you for listening to Planescape Torment, the unofficial audio series, a RevocerGM production. To support the show and those involved, please consider subscribing to our Patreon or donating via our Ko-fi page. Links to both are in the description.